Using ADHD as a superpower, is that even possible? I think it is, because I have ADHD myself. I do things that most people cannot without ADHD, but we do have to train it. But most people don't understand about ADHD. Yes, we have less focus usually than other people. Yes, we have more energy than other people and are way more hyper than other people. But what most people don't understand is that we can actually use that energy, use the fact that we can't focus or can focus really hard because there's something called hyperfocus, which we will talk about in this video, and actually become super productive and get a superpower from it. But then again, since I did the last video, I also did this, but in this video we're also doing it. I am not a doctor, so everything that you see in this video we will call bro science, so that you can't sue me, because I am against ADHD medication. Why? Because I think it changes the personality too much. At least that is what it did for me and for many other people that watch my videos. So that's why I'm helping you guys to use your ADHD when you do not use medication for it. So anyway, ADHD as a superpower. Yes, it is possible. And the first thing we're gonna talk about, and which I'm gonna teach you, is how to use hyperfocus to your advantage. So I don't know if you remember, but I remember when I used to play video games, I got into stages of hyper focus, and that basically meant I was cracked at the game, cracked out, got the most kills, eliminations, and did the best. How come we can use it in a video game but we can't use it to do our productive tasks or go to the gym? We can, that's the thing, we can, but it's really hard to go in that because video games give us a lot of dopamine. That's why it's easier for us to get into that hyper focus. Since going to the gym and being productive on your work could give you dopamine, but most of the time it is delayed gratification, means that it is harder for us to get into hyper focus. But it's not impossible. I found a few ways to actually pitch into this hyper focus and use it to our advantage. So how did I actually learn to get into hyper focus? The first thing that we're gonna talk about, which most people are actually gonna hate, because I already talked about this many times, is meditation. Why am I ramming this into you guys? Because meditation actually helped me so much with not only focusing a lot of the time, but also getting into those stages of hyper focus. And hyper focus is when I'm the most productive for the longest amount of time. So how to get into meditation, we already talked about this many times in other videos, so you can click on those. What we will talk about right now is just learn how to meditate for at least 10 minutes each day in a meditation sense, and then you will be able to get into hyper focus way more by actually being more calm, and I'm being more focused already. What also really helps me to get into hyper focus is to focus on something small first. So let's say you watch a self-improvement YouTube video first for like 5 minutes, or you drink a cup of coffee, but only the coffee, and focus on it, focus on the taste, focus on how the texture is. Why am I telling you this? When you do that, it's actually way more possible for you to utilize that as a hyper-focus step up. Hyper-focus can only be achieved when you step it up, and coffee really, in my opinion, helps because it also gives you a little bit of that dopamine for it. So use hyper-focus to your advantage. Energy. The unlimited energy we got is like the unlimited power from Star Wars. It's unlimited and we can just keep going. Friends have noticed this. When I used to go to parties a lot, they thought I had a lot of alcohol on, I had a lot of drugs, but I had nothing. I just got my own energy and my own like outburst of energy at those parties. Normally I don't do that because, well, in a normal social situation, when we use our energy to the max, people are gonna think we're fucking crazy, right? So for me, I have to suppress a lot of my energy, because if I don't, I'm gonna be way too hyper, which means I'm not gonna be able to articulate my words good. I'm not gonna be able to talk to people in a normal way because I'm way too hyper. So I suppress a lot of my energy. But then once you are done suppressing it, then you can start actually outbursting that towards things that you want to work on and things that need to be done, like productive tasks. And that's how you like manage your energy. So there are two things to this. First of all, energy can be outbursted first. So what is really important, outburst it a little bit first. And what I do with this is like 50 push-ups before I do something, go for a little run and walk, so I can get rid of a little bit of that extra energy that's overflowing, so I can actually focus, because too much energy will make us unfocused, and that's the downfall to this. But if your energy is just right, it will help you also getting into that hyper focus we already talked about, which means we can focus more at our tasks at hand. Just be careful, my friend, because using this energy is really hard. If you use it in the incorrect things, it will turn against you and you will lose all the focus you have. So really know how to manage your energy levels so you can outburst it towards good things and then also keep it within you when you need to, because otherwise you will be unfocused, you will not be in the present moment, and that will be really hard for you in life. So don't scroll all day, don't chill all day, don't be in bed all of your day, because then your energy will be so high that it's really hard for you to actually focus on something. I've noticed this with myself. When I'm sick, I can't focus on things because I'm using so much energy to either get better, which is a good thing because then I'm losing a little bit of energy, but because I'm in bed all day, I don't do anything physical. When I'm really sick, my focus is gone because I get an overflowing cup of energy, and that is really dangerous. So, the third thing, sleeping. Yeah, sleeping. This sounds weird, right? Most people with ADHD can't sleep. It's really hard for us to fall asleep and stay asleep. What is really important with this, and what I learned, I was doing my own research on this. A lot of the sleep tips that like all the self-improvement YouTubers use, they work. Yes, but they don't work to the fullest. What we as people with ADHD need to do, especially when you have my type of ADHD, where you're very busy all of the day, you're thinking all the day, we need some way to get it out. What really works for me, most people already gratitude journal because of self-improvement, right? But this really works for me, especially before sleep. When you do that, you get some of your thoughts out, so you actually have time to fall asleep. Also, what really works for me is just overload your body on a day. So do a lot of things on a day with your body, like a lot of movement, not a lot of still sitting. Then we also sleep a lot better because we have used up our body. And we need to do that way more than normal people, by the way. So those are things that will really help us sleep. And we will sleep very deep when we have used our energy. And that's something I found like normal people don't really have, but we have. And that's a superpower. So the reason I'm making this video, and it's kind of childish, right? Superpower ADHD, is because most people think ADHD is this bad thing that will only do bad things for them, make them unfocused and make them unnecessary hyper and very busy. I don't think so. I think ADHD is something that only can improve us if we use it the correct way. Listen, I can use all of my energy on the correct things. I can be normal when it's supposed to be, like normal between like the fucking fingers, and I can hyper focus on things. I have a superpower, but most people don't see it that way. It's the way that you see and behave around your ADHD that actually forms you. Because you are still a human being, so you can still improve and learn. And I think people with ADHD actually have a fast pass on this because we can hyper focus. Because we are very energetic, we can go to the gym with a lot of energy. This also has downsides, of course. But we need to learn to live alongside those downsides and win. Because everybody has downsides, no matter if you have ADHD, yes or no. So if you want more content like this and you wanna be able to be helped and know the fucking powers that you have, then subscribe to my channel because it will be a win-win for both of us. And then I wanna say thank you for watching, do the hard work, be proud of yourself every day, and I will see you in the next one.